What's up, folks? New phone, new camera. Sat on my last phone, sat on the bus, and things shattered, which typically you can just repair for fairly cheap. But the microphone on my phone also went kaput. So new phone number, new phone. Here we go. Let's talk about it's a central concept of life, and that is um, that basically, and I'm paraphrasing and incorporating a lot of concepts from Brendan Burchard's The Motivation Manifesto, and he kind of lays something out that's profound and important that most people don't reflect on. As you go through your day and your life, your months and your years, that you either live a life that's defined by a quest for freedom, for self-expression and authenticity, or a life defined by fear, conforming, pretending, not speaking up for yourself, pretending. Um, and if you kind of play out how these two pathways end up, well, through freedom, you discover your destiny. It inevitably leads to transcendence and greatness. Sounds cool, right? Or you face your demise, a life of misery and suffering. The world will never remember you. You'll live a life of misery and regret, and never have lived your life at all. So understanding that these are the consequences of your life defined by what your psychology is driven to, then it makes no sense to live a life defined by fear and conformity. Putting on a suit and tie and following the whims of a society of you know, not moralists, but society that never speaks of greatness or contribution. It's a life of safety and conformity. Pay your taxes, mow the lawn, fit in, keep up with the Kardashians, and then die. That's not a life at all. So, fuck me, guys. If I can't inspire you to go, speak up, even if you hate me and disagree with me, I still love you. I want you to speak up for yourself. I want you to live a real life. And most people never do. And we can incorporate concepts and dialogue from lots of movies. Braveheart. That line now jumps to me when Mel Gibson, William Wallace, I think it was De Bruce was calling him out. Look, like, Wallace, you're making enemies on both sides. You're going to end up dead. So what does both sides mean? Well, we have the English nobles and we have the Scottish nobles. And he has problems with both. Just like I have a problem with Republicans and Democrats. And I'm speaking out. And Wallace says, look, we all end up dead. Right? Recognize that. That's not the question. But the question is why and how. That's what matters. And we go further. When the princess tries to slip him the drug when he's in prison so that his execution won't be so painful. Or no, same scene, right? Where she says, well, just confess. Or not confess, but just say you're sorry and blow the king, kiss his ass, and you'll live in the tower. And he says, look, if I do that, then all that I am is dead already. Every man dies. Not every man really lives. And like, some of you will hear that and think, oh, that's just words. That's, what's the word? Pie in the sky? Just a platitude? No, until you fucking get that, then you'll never live a life. Yes, we all end up dead. Most people never live a life. They don't speak up for themselves. So not only will history not remember you, they'll never feel the power, the energy of living a life of purpose. And I can look back through the centuries and count on one hand people that I think live that life. Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ, and some, not many. And that's what I want for you, because I'm an asshole. I care about you. I don't have to know you. To me, every human being is part of a family. That's how untraditional I am. I'm against traditional family. Fuck that. A family is a group of people who love and care for each other. And why can't the world be like that? Because no one ever speaks up, that's why. So I want that for you, and I want that for the world. Because I think if you were to take a poll of the whole of the planet Earth, what are the things that we want? Not all of us, because there's always going to be some who disagree. Some people don't believe in equality. Some people don't believe in love and respect. They are pure greed. That's how their brain works. Wake up. They're there. They've always been there. Until you get that, you'll never understand human history. Why there is this establishment. Why we have slavery, inequality, child sex rings, puppy mills, all these ills. It's not the majority of humanity. It's the minority of humanity that are different. And guess what? Here's God's sense of humor. That these people, they crave power. They run for office. They want to be the boss, the president, the chief of police. Psychopaths, sociopaths, call them what you will, and you say, Doug, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not an expert. And this is funny, little personal story. When I was campaigning for Bernie Sanders right before the California primary, I was working with people going door to door. And I'm telling them, look, guys, Trump is a psychopath. Hillary Clinton is also a psychopath. And yes, I'm an expert. I'm an expert. And this guy chuckled, oh, you're an expert? Yes, I'm a fucking expert, dick. And how do you know what I am? I've lived with psychopaths. And that experience led me to research the condition. And I've interviewed them on any number of levels, subjects. I've researched it. It is not complicated. So I am a fucking expert. And there weren't many with the balls to say, even though this is a crucial election, to come out and say that Trump's a psychopath, Hillary's a psychopath, and most politicians are psychopaths. Okay, guys, I don't hate them. I don't judge them. But I do diagnose them. Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Hillary Clinton, the political establishment, right? The Koch brothers, fucking Jeff Bezos, the Pharma Kid, Martin Shkreli. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up and speak the fuck up. Or lay the fuck down and die. If you can't push, if you can't speak up, then I think you're useless. So, where was I? How did I start this video? Doesn't matter. I've covered lots of different subjects here. Resist, okay? Humanity's story has two recurring themes. Only two. Struggle and progress. Without struggle, there is no progress. There has to be a struggle to grow. And that's God's sense of humor too. Every obstacle and challenge put before you is by divine hand to help you grow. And the atheists, and no judgment, right? I mean, I've lived on both sides of this issue. I loved God. He was my friend. Then I gave up on God. I didn't believe in God. And now I'm certain of God. And I would die for God, right? For love, for people. But there has to be struggle. Accept it and just be thankful for it. But like Jack London, one of my favorite authors, talked about in his books, recurring theme, struggle, man. Sink into those reins and push. Push. There's an ecstasy that marks the summit of life, he says in The Call of the Wild. And it's through this struggle for survival to push. And no one's pushing. Except me. Have a good day. Bye.